What's up, outdoorsman? Greg here, and today we're talking about the differences between a platform and a ring of steps. The age-old question for saddle hunters is, what do I do with my feet? You've climbed the tree, you're hanging in your saddle, you got to do something with your feet. And for years and years and years and years, people use the tried and true ring of steps. There's a lot of different ways you can do a ring of steps. Recently, guys have started using what I always called like a pivot style platform versus a ring of steps. And there's really no right or wrong answer. It just depends on largely comfort, what you find the most user-friendly. So there's some pros and cons of each system. Let's start with the ring of steps. For a long time, the ring of steps was the gold standard for saddle hunting. These are the old Ameristep plastic steps, and the other option has always been something like the old tried and true screw-in step. Now, you can imagine putting your feet on that little bit of surface area for a long hunt. Me, I never found it comfortable. I always found it really uncomfortable, but you can see the difference. It's a big difference between, you know, an Ameristep, a plastic Ameristep, and a screw-in step. They're just not comfortable to me. Some people find them comfortable. I don't. Now, keep in mind with this is all my opinion. You could watch 100 different YouTube channels and talk to 100 different saddle hunters and get 300 different opinions. So who's right? I don't know. This is just the way that I like to do it, the way I hunt, and what I have found over the past decade of being a saddle hunter, what works best for me. Some of the pros of the ring style platform is that or the ring of steps, it was always fairly compact. I mean, you can imagine 5 or 6 of these, it's nothing. There's no weight, no bulk, really small, really minimalist. If you were hunting a preset tree, you have these screwed in around the tree. Matter of fact, I still have some preset trees with these and with these around some of the places that I hunt where that's legal. And that's a great way to do it. You don't have to carry anything with you in the woods. You climb the tree, hook up your tether, and you're good to go. So mobility and lightweight was a long time pro of the ring style platform or ring of steps. The biggest con for me personally, is that I never really found them to be that comfortable. And the other big pro for me, or that you hear talked about, is the ability to shoot 360 degrees around the tree. Well, I found that I can do that with a platform as opposed to a ring of steps. So not really a big pro or con for either system with me. Now, a big pro of the ring of steps is that on a large tree, this is what I would consider a smaller tree, but for a big tree, you can't really shoot 360 degrees around the tree with the platform. With the ring of steps, you can, because you're able to, as you can imagine, kind of walk all the way around the tree. Another pro that people talk about is being able to hide behind the tree more with a ring style platform, because you can walk, again, all the way around the tree, whereas with the platform, you're kind of stuck in one location. Both of those are fair considerations when you think about hunting and how you want to do it. I have found that the walking around the tree is not that big of a pro in my experience. I can shoot all the way around the tree with a platform, and I can move around the tree to a degree with this platform as well. So yes, I would say it is a pro in the grand scheme of the things, but it's not really that useful to me in a hunting scenario. So I'm a big fan of the platform for saddle hunters. I think it's more comfortable, and I think it's a little bit more user-friendly, and there's a little bit more familiarity when you come from a tree stand where you're used to a platform, and then you're coming to a platform style that's just a lot smaller. I think that makes a better transition going to something like this. These work. I'm not saying anything bad about these. I'm just saying it's not my personal preference. I choose this platform every time if I can. So we could talk pros and cons all day, and like I said, 100 saddle hunters, and you couldn't get them all to agree on one thing. It really boils down to personal preference. I much prefer this. Some other saddle hunters are going to tell you to go with this. You should get them both and try. and then sell the one that you don't like, or keep the one that you don't like for your buddy and make him sit on the uncomfortable one or the heavier one, whichever one works best for your system. That's what I did. I probably have 5 or 6 ring style platforms in my garage, and I have a whole bunch of DIY platforms and then a whole bunch of tethered platforms here too. So I've got them both. I use them both. Like I said, I still have a few of these out in the woods for presets, and I'll use those on occasion too. Now, the big deal for me is comfort. I find a platform to be infinitely more comfortable for a long hunt. 2-3 hour hunt, no big deal. You can pretty much do anything for 2 or 3 hours. But on a longer hunt or a multi-day hunt where your feet are gonna be pounded throughout the hunt, to me, personally, my opinion is you should pick the platform every single time. And I don't care what brand you go with. There's a few options out there. If you make your own, that's where they all started, was people making their own. You make your own platform, it's fine. I just think that for long-term comfort, this cannot be beat. So now you can see I'm on the ring of steps. It's definitely a viable system. Look how low the profile is to the tree. You don't even hardly know that they're there. It's super well camouflaged. It's hard to see. If you left them in a preset location, other hunters wouldn't be able to see them. It's a really good system for that. And moving around the tree is pretty easy. One of the cons that I've always thought of the ring of steps is you got to make sure when you set it up, push as much slack out of it as you can. I always like to use them with the ratchet strap, which a little bit of opportunity for noise there. Some guys use them with an OCB buckle, an over the center buckle. I never felt I could get them tight enough with that. They always wanted to be too spongy for me. Some guys swear by it. I never liked it. So again, that's a personal preference thing. As you can see, just moving around, when you get them set, sometimes if you go to some of the steps that you're not on very frequently during your hunt, they'll be a little spongy and you can get a little bit of movement. So you just have to be careful of that, cognizant of that, make sure that you practice all that stuff so you understand how it's going. Something I really like about the platform is the ability to kind of take a lot of weight off of your feet when you need to. Like maybe you want to stand up or something, you can just adjust your tether to where you have no slack in your tether, but now, you know, I'm basically standing up and the platform is holding most of my weight, which this particular platform, I think it broke at like 1,200 pounds, so you don't really have to worry about it breaking. And as long as you don't have any slack in your system, you can see it's holding my weight. You don't have to really worry about it, because if I were to fall, you know, I would just go into the tree and I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm just going to hang here and look like an idiot for a while, but that's okay. I'm used to looking like an idiot. So what is the answer to the age-old question of what do I do with my feet? Well, the simple answer is there is no single right answer. You could do it a lot of different ways. You can use a platform. You can use a ring of steps. You can use whatever makes you feel comfortable. Just whatever you do, make sure that it is something safe, that has been tested appropriately, and there is no fear of failure. The last thing you want is for something to fail while you're 20 feet up in a tree. That is just a recipe for disaster. There's nothing worth not going home to your family after the hunt. So make sure you're using something that's been tested to standards and that you're absolutely 100% confident in at hunting height. Beyond that, there's really no right answer. You know, if you like to move around the tree a whole lot, maybe a ring of steps is for you. If you're more concerned with comfort, then I would say probably a platform is more for you. But as far as shooting 360, there's ways to do it on both. So I don't think there's really a clear winner in either of those. For me, I think the platform is a little better, but again, that is completely personal preference. You can do all of the same shots on a ring of steps. Again, it's gonna all boil down to what is more comfortable for you, what can you set up more quietly, quickly and efficiently in the woods, and what gives you the most confidence when you're 20 feet up in the air. So if you thought I was going to say buy this one or buy that one, you're wrong. I would say buy them all and then go out and test them all and have fun with them all, and then get rid of the ones that you don't like. So hopefully you learned something in this video. Hopefully it helped you understand the systems and the pros and cons of the different methods a little bit better. But you guys pick up some platforms, ring of steps, go outside and have fun. You guys get outdoors.